Iron Maiden just posted a picture on social media with a rather cryptic message, clearly teasing something, and I think we may actually find out what exactly it is very, very soon. So yeah, as a part of their usual Music Monday routine, Iron Maiden's social media accounts all posted the same image with the caption, "The devil's in those great details." And now, for those who don't know, this is the image from the official artwork for the Future Past Tour's live rendition of Alexander the Great, which the band has finally performed live last year for the very first time since it was released all the way back in 1986, and which Iron Maiden fans have been begging the band to play live since then. And so, naturally, I, just like most Iron Maiden fans who know how much this band likes teasing their fan base and leave those small clues and hints for all of us to decipher, stared at this image for a good chunk of time trying to find at least any difference from the original, especially since for some reason this time Iron Maiden posted a much more high-res version of the artwork compared to pretty much anything they posted before.
Yes, that's true.
And to spare you some wasted time, I can officially state that no, there's absolutely no difference between the new one and the one we saw as a backdrop for the Future Past tour. But that doesn't mean that we don't have anything to speculate about. First of all, as strange as it may be, but Iron Maiden posted only one half of the picture, ignoring the other, and more precisely the right side of it, thus focusing our attention on the figures of Alexander the Great himself and the three warriors on the right-hand side, each of whom holds a shield with a depiction of a different Eddie, those being the Can I Play With Madness Eddie, the Stratego Eddie, and the Caught Somewhere in Time Wasted Years Eddie the Hat. And so the most obvious explanation for this picture would of course be that Iron Maiden are hinting at which songs they're going to perform at the next leg of the Future Past tour this year. Now, we of course know that Can I Play With Madness and Wasted Years were both performed by the band in 2023, but at the same time the second single from Senjutsu hasn't been heard live by the fans since the Legacy of the Beast tour, which means that this picture could potentially mean that Stratego will substitute one of the 5 songs from Iron Maiden's latest studio output performed at the Future Past tour. And realistically, although I, of course, as a huge Iron Maiden fan, have enjoyed all of the songs performed by the band on the Future Past tour in 2023, many casual fans, as well as those who happen to see Maiden on festivals as just one other band, found the choice of the new songs, particularly Death of the Celts, rather unexciting. And that's why I think it could very much be the case that Steve Harris and the boys would mix it up, especially since they're getting ready to hit the US soil, which, in all honesty, is not really a bad thing. Although I just personally hope that they will not replace the cathartic Hell on Earth, which is just so relevant today. But that's just 3 out of 4 shields visible in this picture. What about the one held by Alexander the Great Eddie himself? Well, here's where it becomes interesting, although in all honesty might be a little too obvious for Iron Maiden. The shield held by Alexander the Great himself is the only one on the entire artwork which does not refer to a previously released single, album, or a tour poster, and introduces a never-before-seen Eddie the Hat stylized as a Gorgon, referencing the famous Medusa and her sisters, who, according to ancient Greek mythology, had living snakes in place of hair and whose appearance was so hideous that anyone who looked upon them would turn to stone. A detail which was noticed by most, but in all honesty did not seem important at all for the past year, until Iron Maiden deliberately pointed at this artwork once again this week, making us speculate that maybe, just maybe, since the rest of the shields on this image specifically point at the old singles, Iron Maiden are hinting at their next song, which will be based on the ancient legend of Medusa and Perseus. And here's a very interesting observation that I've actually read first in some of the comments online, but then went out, checked it out, and it actually is true. Eddie has always been depicted right-handed up until this picture, which means that either he suddenly became left-handed or that this image is actually a mirror image, which would fit quite well with the whole Medusa thing, don't you think so? And the last but not least, in one of the previous interviews, Bruce Dickinson deliberately said that what Iron Maiden is doing in the future will make all the Greek fans happy. And what can make them more happy than yet another Iron Maiden song based on their cultural heritage? So, could it possibly be that Iron Maiden are hinting at the next single or even an album with this picture? Well, possibly it could be so. Although, in all honesty, I think it might be just a little too simple for Iron Maiden. And I don't personally think that we're getting a new album announcement just yet. Although I'm quite sure that it is actually coming quite soon. And of course, another possible reason for this caption was nothing more than to get the fans speculating and talking about Iron Maiden once again as we're getting closer to the next leg of the Future Past tour, especially since the band kept quiet for a while now and we haven't heard anything from the Maiden camp since the band announced the second leg of their retrospective run, which has become an absolute hit among all those boys and girls who've dreamt about hearing Alexander the Great or Stranger in a Strange Land live for years. Now, the thing is that those who are not new to the channel know that I've kind of had the idea of what exactly Iron Maiden will be doing in 2025 for quite some time now. And so another thing which I honestly think is nearing is the band's announcement of their 2025 plans, all the way up until they will celebrate Iron Maiden's 50th anniversary on the Christmas day next year. Which would make quite a lot of sense, since many major acts are getting ready to finally reveal their plans for 2025, and at least from what I know, it looks like the touring roads next year will be pretty jammed once again with incredible tours by the legendary acts. And we all know that by far not all Europeans who wanted to hear and see this tour have had a chance to do so far. But anyways, I am 100% sure that more dates for 2025 will be announced by this band very soon. And I very much hope that all those die-hard fans in Greece will finally get to experience Alexander the Great being performed live on their soil. But anyways, what do you guys personally think about this post? Did it mean anything, or was it just an innocent post that some fans thought way too much about? Please let us know in the comments. And hey, just in case you're wondering what kind of entourage I have here, yeah, I'm still not home after all my travels, although I'm in Ukraine for the past couple of weeks already. But I'm getting back to Kyiv very soon, and that means that our show is going back to normal schedule, hopefully very soon. But for now, I just wanted to remind you guys that our fundraising campaign, together with Judas Priest and some other bands, which will be announced very soon, is actually going on right now. And by doing a great thing by donating to medical equipment for Ukrainian civilians, you can actually get some pretty cool prizes, including the iconic sunglasses of Rob Halford, the ones which he has worn on his 50th anniversary tour. So check out the links in the description of this video to find the ways to help out and participate in this raffle.
Let's raise some cash. Oh yeah.
But meanwhile, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!